Welcome to In the Zoom Where It Happens with our hosts, Katie Vivas and Brandon Krekel.
Hi, I'm Katie Vivas.
And I'm Brandon Krekel.
And in the Zoom with us today, we have Dr. Tom Meyer, who's the president of the Blue River and Business Technology campuses with MCC Kansas City. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Katie. It's great to be here today.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. And it's a sunny day, so that usually brings a little joy to me, but also we get to interview you and that'll be a lot of fun. So we'll just jump right in. We know that you have a rich history, academic community. Do you mind giving us a little background of where you came from and how you got involved with MCC?
Thank you, Brandon. Yeah, I'd be happy to. So I'm originally from Pennsylvania. I lived in Philadelphia for 10 years, went to school there, University of Pennsylvania. And while I was finishing my graduate degree, I was able to get a full-time position at Drexel University, fell in love with teaching, and I've been in education ever since. I did do a little bit of a little side stint, I guess, into corporate training. I did some training for immigration and naturalization services, a health system, and a pharmaceutical company at one point. And that's where I gained a lot of my workforce development knowledge that I really bring back to education. And so then I was able to find a chairperson position, which is a supervisory level position, supervising faculty at a large community college in Florida. So I ended up relocating to Miami, lived there for 20 years, lived and worked there. And that's where I fell in love with community colleges. And I decided that someday I would love to be a community college president. And so here I am at MCC, making my dreams come true. And I'm really just loving it.
Hey, dreams do come true. That's fantastic. So what sets MCC apart from other community colleges that are out there?
There are two, I think, main aspects. One is our commitment to access and making sure that all students have an opportunity to get an education. It's really important in today's world that everybody has access, and not everybody can afford to go to a 4-year college or university. The second thing is our employees. And our employees are really dedicated to teaching students, giving them that extra hand-holding, really working with students to find the resources. There's so many reasons that a student struggles in school. It's not just academic. It could be transportation. It could be finances. It could be taking care of an elderly parent or a young child. And those are the students that we serve in particular. And we really pride ourselves in working with them. And I think that makes MCC a special place to work. Our employees really, really go above and beyond what is expected to help people in the community.
Speaking of, helping people in the community and focusing on community, and you being a part of workforce development and all of that, what's the most important thing about workforce development and how that can impact Kansas City?
Wow, that's a big question. Kansas City has a lot of opportunity right now for growth. And, one of the things that could really stunt that growth is having a qualified workforce. So what we do as a community college is we really pride ourselves in MCC working closely with our business partners to say, okay, you need X number of employees. What skill set do they need? And which of our programs aligns most closely with that? And if we don't have a program that aligns with that, then we're going to help create a program that meets your specific needs. So a lot of what we hear from our employers in different areas are a more emphasis on teamwork and communication, and really helping younger employees, really garner those skills. Because most students don't learn that at a college, right? We teach them reading, writing, and arithmetic. We don't always do a good job of teaching those soft skills. But then a lot of our employers have very specific technical skills. So they really need employees who can troubleshoot, who can analyze a problem. And then they also need the employees who have the hands-on skills in different skill trades, such as welding, computer integrated machining, industrial technology, manufacturing. Those are just to name a few that are really suffering from the baby boomer retirement. We have this massive outsurge of people leaving the industries, and we don't have a lot of people that normally would think of those as viable careers. And so that's what we do at community colleges, is really help students who may not want to get a four-year degree, but still land a very successful career.
Absolutely. And a quick follow-up question to that, whenever I think of, workforce development, there's got to be communication between higher ed and these employers, right? It seems like you guys are doing a really, really great job in that. In the past, not with you all, but maybe, there's been lack of communication there. How have you guys gotten around that? And how are you able to work with these businesses in KC?
Well, I don't want to suggest that there's not room for improvement. There's always room for improvement, but I do think we're doing quite well. And I think two of the key things are, number one, community involvement and service on boards and chambers, such as the KC Chamber, to name one, which is critical, I think, to us making those partnerships and finding those connections to work with them. The second thing is all of our career and technical programs require us to have advisory boards. And those advisory boards are all created, I shouldn't say created, but formed from members who are working in the community in those industries. So for example, on our health sciences, maybe nursing advisory board, we will have actual nurses from Truman Medical. On our welding board, we will have welding professionals, in addition to maybe some human resources people that work at the industries. On our engineering technology, Burns and McDonnell works very closely with us as a partner to help us fashion the curriculum and make sure that we're meeting 21st century needs, because a lot of these fields, it's really critical to keep the curriculum updated. So we rely heavily on people that are out in the community to tell us what they need, and then we fashion our curriculum after that.
And we love having the partnership with MCC and you guys, and driving the workforce development work that the Chamber's doing, and your partnership with Andrew Weisberg and the great work that's out there. So how can the business community continue to support these efforts that you guys are working towards?
There are so many ways, Katie, let me tell you. So number one, I think we need to continue to stay in touch, and we need to be told candidly and frankly, your students are doing great here, but we see some deficits here, and here's what we recommend to help bridge some of those gaps. The other thing is continued assistance with resources. So, keeping up with technology is very, very expensive. And I'll give you two examples. So in our computer integrated machining, we just purchased, one computer numeric controlled machine costs over $100,000. So you could imagine, because that one machine will teach a certain skill, but that's not going to meet all of the skills that the student needs. So now we need to purchase maybe 5 or 6 of those. And you can imagine with a college our size how that adds up to stay state of the art, right? Then the third thing, is helping our students with resources. So scholarships are key. It's really important that we be able to help our students financially. I said that was one of the things that really hinders a lot of people from going to college. So any type of scholarships that go above and beyond tuition, because our students, the textbooks cost almost more than the tuition sometimes. They also need, computer resources. They need a laptop or a computer at home. Nobody can function in today's society without a computer. Let's face it, right? You can only try writing an essay on your smartphone. That's not going to work. That's not going to work too well. So there's a lot of ways that we work with our industries, and that's how they can continue to help us. Absolutely.
And a moment ago, you mentioned the need for for all of these skilled trades, primarily because of the retirement of the boomers and then now, working that into that. What is the roadblock that's out there that is creating such a gap? What is it that's preventing young individuals from wanting to get into these skilled trades?
That's a great question. And we've been talking about this a lot in the KC Chamber and the Workforce Development Subcommittee. How do we do kind of like a marketing campaign to let students know, hey, these are great opportunities for you? So, when I'm going to just use myself as an example, and maybe, you can see my age, but, when we were growing up, it was always your parents told you wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer, and you see what that profession is. We were never told, oh, you should go learn welding or you should become an HVAC technician. And I think a lot of people don't understand the different facets of those careers and what they look like these days. And I shouldn't have said people don't know. I think young people don't know. And we don't always explain to them the different career paths that are available to them. So there's a lot of work now going on in the high schools, actually as early as middle school into high school with the academies and getting students to explore different types of careers. So I think that'll help raise awareness. And then number two, we're working also in community colleges on like career pathways so that students can see earlier on in their education what their career might look like if they major in HVAC or if they major in healthcare sciences. And so instead of just taking English and math the first semester, they might take an introduction to healthcare class along with that English and math. And that gives them a better taste, if you will, of what it is, the career that they've chosen and what it might look like.
So looking on your website, we did a little bit of research, of course, and we saw something called a gold collar job. Do you mind explaining a little bit about that and what that is?
Sure, Brandon. So you know about the white collar jobs, right? Me sitting in my office and pushing papers and all the bureaucratic red tape that we have to cut through. The gold collar jobs are those jobs that are equal in pay in many cases to the white collar jobs, if not higher in pay, with a 1 or 2 year degree or certificate. And so those are the things that I've been mentioning in terms of welding, building construction, computer integrated machining, industrial technology, all of those careers that students can gain through a 1 or 2 year degree will land them a very successful career. Engineering technology, just learning to do AutoCAD is a great start to a gold collar job that can lead to a much better paying job in the future, but it's kind of like a launch pad into that. So we've coined that phrase, gold collar jobs, and it markets well. Another program we have is the lineman program, learning to install electrical power lines in the community, working for Evergy. So those are all considered gold collar jobs that require a shorter amount of time. You don't have to do a 4 year degree.
I mean, gold collar to me sounds way better than white or blue collar. So that makes me want to reconsider and go be a welder. I mean, that seems legit. So yeah. That's great. Tom, we could sit and chat with you all day long, and this is all really wonderful information. And I love hearing about the great work that you're doing and the partnerships that you have. So we have time for one more question, and that is, if there's one thing that you want people to know about MCC and the work that you guys are doing, what is that message?
We are your community college. That is what we are. We pride ourselves in working with the community. We prepare students, we serve the community, and we create opportunities. And I would really like people to start thinking, hey, I have this idea. What maybe where can I go to help me? Metropolitan Community College is your college. We are here to help you. And that's what I would like people to walk away with.
I can validate that. I went to Longview for my first 2 years of of school and then transferred to UMKC, and very, very much prepared.
Awesome. Very
And I took a couple of classes at Maple Woods to round out my bachelor's degree. So you guys are, and I love that commercial. You guys need to get that on t-shirts. We're the college for you. So
yes.
We are grateful for your partnership, the work that you're doing, Tom. We want to be here to support in any way that we can. So always let us know what we can do and how we can help. But thank you very much for your time today. It's been a pleasure to get to know you and hear about all the great work that you and MCC is doing for the community.
Oh, thank you, Katie. Thank you, Brandon. It's been a pleasure and an honor to meet with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.